All right, guys, what is up? What is up? What is up? PoliticsGaming here, and today I am going to be live streaming some Geopolitical Simulator 5. It's been a while since I've actually made a live stream, so it's been a lot going on with me recently. Let me moderate that. I don't know if like that music was too loud. Looked like it was, but anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. Basically, like a little bit of a update, what's going on, why I've been lackluster with the content. Basically, just a lot of personal stuff, just stuff that's going on at home. I work 4 days out of the week, off Saturday, and then work Sunday, off Monday, and so sometimes it's just really difficult for me to be able to stream. So it's just been a lot. I'm also, I guess, in the process of buying a house, so that's been taking up a lot of time too, which I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, it's okay, but it's obviously something that like I just really hate, that I've just not been able to make any content. So it's tough. But we're actually, the cool thing is that we're about 100 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. That's not, music was fine on the stream zone. Okay, hang on. I'm actually about 105, 104 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. So that's not something that I really thought that I would get to, just at all. So it's just insane to see how many subscribers that I have, and just how many of you guys you do still enjoy the content that I make. I mean, I've been seeing my Lawgivers live stream from like 2 years ago popping off, even though like I haven't even touched Lawgivers since then. So it's crazy to see that is like just my channel is just still around, I guess. What we're doing today, is that we're going to be playing as the United States government, but we're also going to be playing as a corporation at the same time. We are playing as the USS Company. This is the US Steel Company. The US Steel Company is a American steel corporation, which is, I would say, having trouble with the decline of American manufacturing and US production in the terms of raw materials. We do see that like companies like US Steel and other manufacturing companies have been falling apart, and so this one came under the spotlight last year, the year before, I believe within the last 2 years. The US Steel Company was actually getting ready to be bought out by a Japanese steel company, Nippon Steel. And so my goal in this one was to revitalize production. And we have essentially done that. We had 24,000 workers to begin with. We are now employing 118,000 people. Net results, which is the percentage between revenue and expenditures, is going to be 14%. $20 billion at the beginning of the game. We did release a new product just last year, right at the end of the year, and we are now making $78 billion. Debt, we had $1.6 billion in debt at the beginning of the game, and we are now only carrying $766 million. We could borrow up to $31 billion in loans, which, I mean, I could, but it's probably not a necessity because I'm making so much money right now. Except we are only floating on about 4 months of funds remaining, and we actually peaked at about $21 billion, and for some reason we're going down not because I'm even spending anything, but it's also, I think, because we are paying corporate taxes now. I did exonerate the steel sector for a little bit, but because we do have the steel sector back on its feet, they are able to pay for their corporate taxes. So we are now paying $5 million in corporate taxes compared to $0 in 2024. And we do have one company out in the wild. This is going to be the Chico de Acero company. This is going to be based in Mexico. We have one plant in Mexico, which is outside of Monterrey. We employ 7,000 people out of the 1,000 that are supposed to apparently be employed there. We produce 1.2 million tons of steel in Mexico. And we opened this in, or at least started constructing it in January 2024. We do have a handful of facilities that we built across the country in the previous year. And obviously, this is not something that you guys have been able to see. This is a game that I've been playing on my own. And that's why we're starting about a year later. I needed to get myself through the next presidential election, which I did. So again, like I said, we were playing as the president of the United States at the same time. I was wondering whether I should have Biden run again, but I figured, you know, I could get him through the next 4 years, and then we could just retire him in 2028 and then go from there. Pakistani gamer Naveed, how are you? King Pipolo, how are you? Gonna start going into some campaign promises. Not exactly pro-business here, but we are going to authorize the right to strike. A strike is a collective action whereby employees of a company refuse to work as a form of organized protest. The consequences of not working put pressure on the management. So I'll go ahead and confirm that, and that will give them the total right to strike across the country, even in my own company sector. Sometimes it's fun to watch gameplay that's already been underway. Yeah, I like it because it's at least everything's set up. I don't have to go through the same like go round, and then I'm basically just jumping into it in the beginning. And so, annual shareholders meeting took place. Financial results already published. Are now aware of your objectives for this year regarding your goals. We are overwhelmed by your excellent results. Congratulations, profits are soaring, bravo. You have well earned your bonus, which will be paid out in company stock. Revenue is far beyond our best estimates, bravo. Profits are soaring, that's marvelous. Regarding the objectives for the coming year, they are outstanding. We hope this will be a reality. If it comes to pass, we would owe you our eternal gratitude. The forecasted profit is incredible. If you're right, that is. The salary you want is more than reasonable. We greatly appreciate your restraint. I asked for $1.2 million. Up from $700,000. The bonus for meeting objectives you assess seems incredible and obscene. After some deliberation based on your revenue and profit objectives and your inordinate proposal, the board has voted to set your share bonus at a much lower amount. I encourage you to refer to your summary of annual objectives. In conclusion, we can confirm the renewal of your contract for the coming year. Let's go over here and see what they did give me. So consortium profit in 2024 was $9.5 billion. For reference, percentage of profit sharing bonuses was 0%, and percentage of profits in 2024 paid out to shareholders was 3.5%. Consolidated revenue goal set for 2025 is $45.8 billion. Net profit goal was maxed out at $7.2 billion. They approved my gross salary for $1.2 million a month, and then they did say I asked for $25 million in a bonus, and they gave me $12.8 million in a bonus. So what I did actually, and this is like some PoliticsGaming, what? Huh? What the hell? Sale of shares. What? Bro, where did my money go? Purchase of shares, sale of shares, U.S. Steel Company. 12.8 million. Okay, so basically, I had a net worth of $144 million because I invested into the company right before. Let's try something like this. I think I'm gonna test this. Kevin Roos, how are you? It's been a while. Maybe I have to sell it before the bonus hits, because otherwise it's just gonna reset. I'm gonna try that. All right, let's try that again. US Steel. Purchase $143 million. Yeah, I think what it's doing is that it's resetting. So sell consortium shares. Sale of shares to individuals, 1.6. I guess I'll report that. We're slowly trying to buy out an aluminum company, trying to expand our grasp on American raw materials.
There are too many...
Come on, it doesn't take you that long to sell it. Oh, thank God. Yielded 141, selling 0.41% of the shares you put up for sale, which yielded $141 million. So I am now worth $143 million because I invested into the company at about $30 a share, and then I bought whenever the stock price went up. It went up to whenever the stock price went up, then it went up to the 143. So I gained like $50 million in net worth from it. The goal is to become a billionaire. There's not really like any point to becoming a billionaire, it's just more of a status thing. Okay, so I got the $12 million bonus, and that knocked my net worth up to $156 million. So, okay. So it looks like that you might want to sell. I don't know if it has to be some sort of bug or something like that, but it looks like that you just have to sell your stock before the February 1st deadline where like everything comes in. But at least I'm going to be making $1 million a month. And if this year's good, salary gap at the U.S. company, salary of the consortium CEO is called into question.
The pay that you receive has grown substantially compared to the company's employees. It would be preferable to make an adjustment and thus avoid the easy criticism liable to undermine the dialogue between management and the union.
All right, let's do a 4% increase for executives. Nah, 3%, and then 5% for office staff, and let's do a 25% now. 15% increase for laborers. Salaries only revalorized upwards. Employees want an increase in their earnings proportional to business results and inflation in order to maintain their purchasing power, as well as have a sense of some sharing in the profits. And that's only going to apply to the American-based company. So-called profit sharing and participation bonus is paid out to all employees. It's proportional to the profit generated by the business. However, it's not deducted from the payout of these profits, unlike dividends, which is paid paid separately. This aims to encourage employees to be more involved in achieving company goals. This bonus is paid out throughout the year. It's definitely a bug. Sadly, they haven't fixed it. Serenity Limited, $2.4 billion. Market value, $38 billion, up from like 13. And let's look. Sell consortium shares, purchase shares. Regalis Advisors. All right, we're gonna start buying into Airbus. Alkali Place. $2.5 billion. Actually, yeah, that's what we'll do, is that since like we're paying off our loans pretty quick, what we'll actually do is that we'll start to buy some stock, but we're gonna borrow for it. That way we're not like using too much more money, because we have the ability to do it. That'll be about a $536 million annuity. Sharing the wealth at the USS company. And once we buy that company, what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna buy our stock again. We're gonna devote all of the money that we have, and then this stock price is gonna go up to like $300. Like it'll double or triple or quadruple. So it's gonna be a very good investment opportunity in order to once we buy out a company, because your stock price will like hilariously boost upward, including your market value. So the goal is to, so I'll say PLC $2.45 billion, and that's how much more can we even borrow? $2.28 billion. We have a company risk level of a B, which is like the second lowest. Current loans yet to be paid. We just incurred about $3 billion. We had almost $400 million that we were getting ready to pay off, and it just kept getting paid off. So I was just like, okay, let's. And our funds are actually on the way up. We're paying $100 million now in corporate taxes.
I see that our expenses are...
Chico de Acero. So basically what we're waiting on Chico de Acero, basically this means Steel Boy. If you guys have ever played Fallout, I don't know if you guys, if anyone here has played Fallout New Vegas, you might get this reference. It's kind of like a play on the Petro Chico. Or it's like the gasoline boy. So basically what we're waiting on in Chico de Acero is that we're waiting on a product to release. Once this product gets released, then it'll... The dop rod, yeah, see, Chico de Acero. Dop rod, once this comes out, we're already producing it, so it's getting ready to be commercialized. And once it drops onto the market, we're going to be dominating the Mexican market, Mexican steel market. So we're selling it. It is a 1 technology level, 1 range level for $375. CO2 impact is 0.67. $0 in profits right now, but we're expecting at least a couple billion. Electrical steel is the newest product that I just got released. So we have 6.2 million tons that we've sold for $1.2 thousand, which we're thinking about lowering the price on it, because with this, it's actually, we're way above market price. Like $940 is average market price. We're like way above that. So whenever it comes to a contract we're trying to sign, we're not able to sign any contracts with it. For Chico de Acero, we could electrical steel 2. Electrical steel MX. It said $950, right? My favorite game. Hey, what's up? TR233. Let's sell it for $925. That would be 34% expected margin. Estimated resale cost is about $689. Development 9.6 months. Let's do that at a 3-star rating. 11-month development time. So the dop rod is actually going to hold us off and keep us afloat while we're waiting for this product to be released. Cost of development $24 million. What was the damn it, dop rod sales analysis? $940. Yeah, let's sell the electrical steel MX for recycled steel, no. Let's say for, yeah, $925. $24 million in development, 11 months. Go ahead and create that. And then so we will see that in sometime in 2026. Go back to the United States in search of funding. We just had an election. Global warming, diplomatic offensive, internet speed okay.
According.
And we may or may not be funding some funny actions in Russia. All right. Since we are past the election, what we're planning on doing, we aggressively need to lower the deficit. And I'll actually show you what's going on with the deficit. I've never actually had an issue with... I've actually never had an issue with debt, but this one's actually kind of starting to worry me. So if I go to like wait for the budget club to come up, or the budget part to come up. So if I go to budget and I come over here, I'm $2 billion away from debt reimbursement being my most spent expenditure. This is very much a problem. So what we need to do, we need to go over to, we're actually going to go in and we're going to do a massive investment program once we raise the funds for it. But does this game cost like 50 bucks? Ashlander, has the game become decent feature-wise? Can you expand the company by buying other companies, or is it still as limited? You can buy companies. You've always been able to buy companies in the game. They actually fixed the subsidiary icon, so I haven't necessarily started the well, I just saved it. Let's see what happens if I start my own aluminum company. What should I call this? Ashlander Inc. Headquarters. Management office. Oklahoma City. Ashlander, where are you at? Ashlander. What city you want? In the meantime, I'm gonna pick what we're gonna do. Haven't been at GPS in months. Yeah, I know. Bauxite, aluminum is going to be the plan. Number of people to recruit, 1 person. Social capital, Romania. Why Romania? Let's do $1.5 billion. Additional shareholders. Flip it wherever you wish, sir. All right, we got Oklahoma City. Topeka, Kansas City. Memphis. Let's do Oklahoma City. I'm going to beg Eversim to add tornadoes to this game. Choose a character, steel. Let's get someone from the aluminum industry. Revenue, alphabetical order. Available, all nations, United States. Billionaire. I thought there were already tornadoes. No, there's only hurricanes. Treasury for the first year of activity, 146,000. In order to the newly created company to pay its employees' salaries during its first year of activity, it must have additional treasury funds. This will be added to the company's share capital. Social capital. Social capital allows the company to make its first investments, particularly in the means of production. Depending on the amount, it's more or less reassures partners in banking establishments. And then we can provide them additional loans if needed. All right, let's see if this crashes the game, because normally it does. Holy crap, it didn't. All right, let's give it a couple of days. If this doesn't crash the game, this is going to be very exciting. Holy crap, finally, we can actually now create subsidiaries. All right, let's go over to Ashlander Inc. and aluminum refinery, 191 employees. Ooh, yeah. 312 million dollars. We'll take this out. Still right outside of where the corporate headquarters is. And then let's do another one on a bank loan. And this one will be built... and let's centralize it in Oklahoma for now. And then we'll expand later on once we actually get products and things going. And so for creating a product, let's go over to Ashlander Inc. Recycled aluminum or aluminum. What kind of aluminum products we got? Any ideas, guys? Duration in months. Oh, hell yeah. Very short. Actually, oh, good. 3 stars. 3 star. We'll do a 2-star for now, and do it at 2.7 months. And I'll do a 1-star. That way we can actually get a product going by the time we get our facilities up and running. What kind of aluminum products do we got? Cookware, foil, various components in electronics, transportation, automobiles, airplanes, and construction. Eversim adds tornadoes. US players see stonks go down because of wind strong. Aluminum plates and guards. Maybe I could specifically say... I feel like they should rework the product type, because it's kind of like, what could this be used for? Because if you're a part of an essential process, then maybe you could like specifically make it like maybe like with a contract with like another company, and then you'll like exclusively sell it to that company. Aluminum products catalog, rod bar and shapes. Production and refinement. Um, niche applications, aluminum acetates, and astringents, aluminum hydroxide, antacids, water purification. Many vaccines use it. Aluminium. Thank you for that. And how much should I sell it for? We have resale cost, $502,000. What are we looking at? Product, aluminum, sales, $2,200. We could go for about $2,000, undercut the market. Ashlander, aluminum. Did that say 2,200 or 2? God damn. I forget so quickly. 2,200. Okay. 2,000. Okay, 2,000. We're going to remember that. I say we as if it's y'all that are forgetting it. All right. One more time. Two stars. How much should we sell this for? What are we thinking? 2,000. $2,050 for now. Maybe increase it if we need to. Ashlander Inc. Create.
I see that.
Ah, there we go. Chico de Acero just got their product on the market. Loans. Let me check them out. Products. Stop rod. Did they? No, they didn't. What's going on here? Electrical steel, dop rod, marketing in progress. The hell? Red carpet. Hang on. Chico de Acero, 34. 34. What are we looking at in Mexico? Budget, corporate tax, $159 million. Gabe Vogel in the chat, what's up? Right. And I'm gonna make a separate save just in case it crashes out on me. and let's go over here. So we're going to go over to taxation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to aggressively hit at the deficit. So we're going to throw it all into one reform. We're going to call this the 2025 well, let's call this the Financial Security and Deficit Reduction Act. And 4% increase to the corporate tax. But we're going to decrease the Social Security payments for employees. What about gold mining? Hell yeah. You're gonna be mining for that gold, boy. Wealth tax seems high enough for now. Low bracket, let's increase the high bracket to 45%. Middle bracket to 23, and then the low bracket to 9. That will lower taxes on middle and low, but then increase them on the high. Add that to the reform. And legislation, we're gonna go to a regular and repressive tax inspection policy that'll net us about $74 billion, or at least gross us $74 billion. Hit them with that. Soon enough, I would want to do tax exonerations for investment in real estate. Production tax, carbon tax. We'll throw a carbon tax in there, $15 billion. Financial security. Audiovisual. Value added tax. This will be about 5%. That'll get us about $1.3 trillion.
We now have an electoral map.
Right. And so that is going to pass. What the hell? They just got... oh my god, the 2 different countries just got double whammied by 2 different hurricanes. Eight gigabyte minimum on the RAM, but I think like the recommended is 16. Aluminum. The dop rod. So the dop rod's still not on the market. The entire consortium, 17%. Ashlander Inc. is at net results 16%. We're 0.04 of the global market share. A philosophy: low income tax, more exports, more income tax throughout. Are you talking about that? It's also funny because I keep getting these like offers, not offers, but like they keep sending me like they're like, oh, someone's about to buy you out. And it's really funny because all of these Japanese companies keep trying to buy me out. And it's like I've gotten like 2 like not offers, but it's like we're getting someone's about to buy us for like this amount of money. And so I guess like they just keep getting refused, but it's really funny just how the Japanese keep trying to buy me out. Just like Nippon Steel IRL. Yeah, I know. Hang on real quick. This minimum memory requirement for the game is 16 gigabytes of RAM. Jesus Christ. Alright, give me about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, thank you so much for waiting. All right, I wonder kind of know what opportunities we have in Japan. Purchase shares. Let's do Japan. And then sectors, let's do steel. What do we got? Nippon Steel, $28 billion market value. Kabe Metal. Kabe Metal is one of the ones that tried to buy me. And then I also got a buyout offer from a JXE and Co. Except I think I just saw that they were going bankrupt. I thought I did. But I got 2 different offers from Kabe Metal and then JXE Co. And both of them were trying to buy me. But we're like hilariously bigger than them. I think if we got an offer from Nippon Metal, we most likely would have an issue with that. But there's apparently no way to stop it. Give me just a second. We could buy this one, Henway Ka Ltd. 410. What if I wanted to buy them? Let's see how much that would cost. So make a buyout bid. And steel. Japan, Henway. Or what about Kabe? 3.2. Have you ever played Capitalism Lab? You'll like it. No, I have not. Like SimCity, but at a grand scale, I have not. I could borrow the money and just buy it out. Buyout bid. Steel. What about Nippon Metal? Yeah. I keep telling PG to buy Capitalism Lab. He will obsess over Cap Lab once he get it, lol. Fine, I'll probably buy it after I'm done with the stream. I like how one employee is working at Ashlander Inc. Chico de Acero. Do you even have any production going on right now?
Our stock price has reached
the top. Should I slap a tariff on the Japan against their steel? This is actually what I've done with the steel industry. Got to do some laundering. Got to do the laundering there. Our profits have gone down, but like the sales have hilariously gone up. So like, I've really like helped out in terms of the trade balance. I mean, the trade balance is down. Production is up. Consumption is actually down. GDP activity in the country is up. Global share of this country's activity, 11%. So world info, who could I slap a tariff on? Because we already we have a 70% tariff on China for steel. Why the heck is Luxembourg producing 8% of the world's steel? 4% at the beginning of the game, and now they're producing 8%. $95 to $82 billion in sales. Yeah, actually, we could slap a tariff against Japan because Japan is producing just a little bit more steel than us. So if we can slap a tariff on them, then that could work. I mean, we could also just slap a tariff on everyone. Go full Trump. What about Japan? Let's see. Japan. They have a 9% tariff against me. I'm sorry, Japan, but we're going to have to focus on our own industry here. We should be getting a complaint message. Japanese government filed a complaint against you with the WTO for anti-competitive practice. The Center for Dispute Settlement was called upon and ruled that you did not respect the rules of the worldwide economic market. Consequently, the center authorized this nation to do the same toward your country. So we should be expecting some tariffs by Japan in terms of the steel industry, but that is the point. Or maybe a steel company set their HQ in Luxembourg and made it register Luxembourg as the producing country. Well, let's look at Luxembourg then, because that's kind of like insane that Luxembourg is just producing like a crap ton of steel for literally no reason. Torum. Interesting. All right, let's go to whenever this tax reform completes. Finance. I like how the stock market just jumps like sometime in the next year. Which actually it makes sense because literally every single company experiences a massive jump in their stock price. So seeing this kind of makes sense. Oh, it is actually really cool because the stock market in the previous games basically it would just be like an indicator of like what your economy is doing, but it never really served any purpose. The stock market now it does have a legitimate purpose. This is actually the indication of where your economy is going. So this is going to be like, oh, all of the companies in your game are doing extremely well, or maybe they're starting to slump a little bit. I mean, you could probably see like if there's like a massive financial crisis or maybe even like a collapse in a company, you'll see that company collapse on the stock market because that company's stock is going to disappear. So a lot of people are really kind of disappointed, saying like, oh, like I don't get the point in I don't get the point in this company model, which the company model, honestly, I genuinely like it. I genuinely like the company model in this game because it really makes the economy a lot more alive. Once it's figured out, like this is going to be like the best economic simulation ever. Pharmaceuticals, software industry. All right, once this tax reform hits and we get all of the money that we're getting from this tax reform, we are going to do a huge investment into our industry, into our farming. We'll actually go ahead and start investing into farming now. We're going to do 2, and this is actually the funny thing about this. In the previous games, this one would be flat out throughout the entire sector. Every sector would get $2 billion. This now, so the way it works is that, so I go to a cereal company. I have, let's go to one with multiple companies. Okay. So this one has multiple different companies. If I give them $1 billion for this sector, it'll distribute it across the entire sector. So it's distributed between sectors in proportion to their respective revenue. So if Kraft Heinz is making 25% of the country's food industry, they get 25% of the subsidies. So it's the same thing now whenever you do it like this. So it's going to distribute it throughout the entire sector. So it's like you're giving them a budget. So I'm going to say, let's give them a budget of $35 billion. Then I'm only going to apply this to the domestic companies, by the way. Where I live, there might be a tornado outbreak tonight. Are you in Minnesota? Oh, yep. I see your profile picture. Yes, you are in Minnesota. Good luck. I've been like really into tornadoes lately. I've been really into like the what do you call it? The May 3rd, 1999 tornado in Oklahoma City. Like, it's crazy. $45 billion, I think that'll work. Okay. Yeah, so basically what that'll do is, like, if I go now to a carbohydrates company or here. So I go over here, go to subsidize. That company gets $1.8 billion off of the $45 billion that I set aside for the sector, for the entire like agriculture sector. So it kind of makes it a little bit easier because you know exactly how much you're investing into the sector as a whole. It kind of like you just have to, if you want to invest in like to a specific sector by a little bit more, you have to go to that sector and then give them the subsidies that you want. And then there's a little bit of math involved if you want a certain company to get more money out of it. But it's really cool because that way, at least, like if I'm putting $100 billion into the industrial sector, you know I'm only putting $100 billion into the industrial sector. Given it's my duty to ensure good financial management of this country, I must ask you to make more effort in bringing our budgetary deficit into calmer waters, which would, on the one hand, reassure markets and would, in the long term, limit our debt service. To do this, there's no secret but 3 budget rules: discipline, discipline, and more discipline. Taxation. When is this going to pass? 3/14, 2025, which is in 2 days. So this tax reform is on the ropes. Imagine a night tornado and it's the stuff of nightmares.
The vote was held.
All right, and our massive tax reform just passed. This should erase the deficit. The end of the ice caps. I really don't like that the Democrats come back to me and are just like, hey, why are we increasing taxes on the companies? population. Palestine. We need to have the ability to recognize nations. Because, like, there should be an option for me to be able to go over and recognize Palestine as a legitimate state, or Taiwan, and then it, like, accordingly, like, pisses off the other nation. Oh. God. Okay. I'm gonna save it. Kind of had a couple of freezes there and I got worried. Yeah, I reorganized of the personal.
Funeral will take place next week. Do you want to attend the ceremony?
No, the personal assistant. Michael Caine died. No, he's dead. Moral character. Where's his health? Where's his health? We need to bring him back. Health 0. No!
Our latest
financials. Jesus Christ, 3 tons in CO2 impact? Date of commercialization, 2049? $3,000 for 1 aluminum? Jesus, dude. That's way above market price. Hang on. Modify prices. Aluminum. No more Michael Caine. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look, $120 billion in revenue. Ashlander. Chico de Acero of 5%. $1.7 billion. $111 billion in USS company, US Steel. Here, products. That's crazy, 2049. $300 million in corporate taxes now. Sell consortium shares. '73 ranking of global companies. I'm now in the top 100. '73. So we're making more money than Bank of Transmissions, the gas company in Russia, and we're just behind the Citi Corporation, the Citi Bank, Mohammed Energy, Verizon, Wells Fargo. I can't remember the name of that one. What's the highest revenue? Changsha Power Supply is nearly $1 trillion, and it's a private company. Oh, Jesus. 600. We're way behind China. Unity Health, so United Healthcare. Berkshire Hathaway. Capital increase, $12 billion. Capital increase will always be like based off of your market value, so the higher your market value goes, which actually once I get up to like maybe 100, 200 billion, 300 billion dollars, I will actually do a capital increase. That way we can get it, and then we can also lower our stock price. New facility. Chico de Acero. I guess I have to meet up with the Mexican official again. Jamaica, Mexico. Or we'll meet up with him. I want to build like 2 more facilities in Mexico.
Our bank balance is good with almost a year's worth of reserves left. This will allow us to take care of things without worry.
Subsidize all sectors. So this, we're gonna increase it, I'll say $60 billion. Throughout the entire sector. And then steel specifically, let's give it $10 billion.
Sure. You're not.
To what company would you like to make this proposal? Yes, I understand.
And Chico de Acero, steel mill. Let's do half and half. We'll build it outside of Tijuana.
The bulldozers have...
The bulldozers have... Alright, and then we just gotta meet up with him one more time. And I'm gonna build one outside of Mexico City. April 24th. Okay.
It's done.
All right, let's look at our HR, look at our organization, working conditions, work accident prevention, harassment prevention, works committee, output objectives, work performance evaluations, telecommunicating. Working conditions have an impact on employee motivation and performance, as well as their health and well-being, set by management and combines various aspects, including some that depend on a specifically dedicated budget. Telecommunicating is appreciated by employees, but at a certain point it can impact concentration and thus their efficiency. Certain physical activities cannot be done by telecommunicating. Works committees provide certain incentives, recreational activities offered at the workplace, various services such as daycare or summer camps, discounts for entertainment or resorts, etc. Work monitoring is necessary for planning and achieving goals, but beyond a certain point, it presents a risk to workers' health, psychological health in particular. Taking preventive action is a requirement for employers who must recognize the inherent risks in a company's activity sector and align themselves with national laws currently in effect. So we're going to throw $372 million into that, and then practice of overtime. Overtime increases production, employees benefit from a reevaluated wage for these hours beyond a certain volume or practiced for a long period of time. It poses a risk to workplace health and safety. Where we at? So staff, percentage of activity, workers, office staff, executives, employees on sick leave, 7.2%, burnouts, 3%, work accidents, 2.4%. Chico de Acero. They're making like hilariously a lot for Mexican wages. How long will this stream last? I'm gonna stream in for an hour. I'd say about another hour or two. Team building operation, $117 million. I'm pretty sure like Chico de Acero is like the highest paying company in Mexico right now.
We are seeing a decline in work stoppages within the company because of the improvement in working conditions. Basically, the rate of absenteeism remains low, and we congratulate you. This will allow the company to maintain a high level of production. We're seeing a decline in...
We're seeing a decline in... Buddy. We can do better. Bad figures of unemployment. 4.8% unemployment right now. Unemployment is at 5%. What's going on? Unemployment has actually been on its way up, which it's good because I do like that we're not like it's not like where unemployment just shoots down to zero and it just stays at zero. At least it's actually fluctuating. But it's a matter of why unemployment is going up. Alright, what's my election promise on minimum wage again? Dismantle nuclear missiles. Minimum wage, 1,400. Man, I could have just gone for like 1,200. Alright, 1,500 times... hang on. It's 210,000 places. If I build 1,500 of these. So we're gonna confirm that. Because we have to start getting something done with immigration.
According to this... All right. Total income, budgetary deficit. Budget deficit, $93 billion. Public debt was at 126, and it's actually gone down
Or we're still kind of fluctuating right now. Public debt. Nationalized sectors, profits. Legislation, let's look. Debts. Where are we at? How much do we owe the Chinese? Current rate 0%. It's funny whenever you just keep paying it back and then they just stop charging you interest rates. Inflation is at nearly 0%. Let's go back. When all the bugs are fixed, this will be one of the best, if not the best game about real-world geopolitical simulation. It still is. It's always been. Surprised the dot rod hasn't started selling. Electric steel and electrical steel. Let me see, dot rod, because I made both of these by accident, but if they're performing like a lot. Yeah. What happens if I discontinue a product? The issue with the when has always been a when question. Perhaps we should consider whether it was an if. Also, AI never retakes cities occupied by rebels. I know. I remember seeing something like that where I looked at Colombia and Colombia literally just fell apart, and then like half of the country was occupied by rebels and the government never did anything. And then so like I had ships like over by Colombia getting ready to like support the Colombian government. Colombian government never did anything. So it's kind of crazy to see that happen. Which, if civil wars can break out, that's going to be like a game changer, because that would be really, really cool to just incite civil wars in other countries and then be able to support the side that leans more toward you. So like it could be like, you know, Turkey supporting the rebels in Syria, or Iran supporting a civil war in Iraq, or in Saudi Arabia. Supporting like a civil war in Russia, something like that. Like it could go so many different directions. I'm gonna make a 28 days later. What is this? Ooh, I'm gonna make a 28 days later mod in the game. Why am I financing the North Korean rebels if they never do anything? Well, it's more so about decreasing, like the way that it works now is that they decrease the popularity of the person that's in power. Sure. So that way you can support during elections or just generally destabilize the country.
To what company would you like to make this proposal? Yes, I understand.
Production, new facility, Chica de Acero. All right, we're gonna build this one outside of Mexico City. Should I do Mexico City or should I do Puebla? Now we'll do Mexico City.
All right. 2 new facilities being built in Mexico. Soon enough, we will dominate the Mexican steel market. And then maybe even soon enough, we can go public in Mexico. Because Chico de Acero is actually still a company, like a private company. Chico de Acero, -5. That's probably because we just built that thing. The only chance for me to get any answers is on Steam. Grants an interbusiness loan. How much are we already lending them? 116. Let's do an additional $850 million. We'll give it to them for 4 years at a 3% interest rate. Okay, I guess 1.25. Let's do $1.5 billion then. 1.25, 4 years.
The pay that you
receive. Man, my stock price is going down. $2 billion in debt at Chico de Acero. $500 million in corporate taxes. Grants an interbusiness loan. Ashlander Inc. Let's do $500 million. 4 years. 1.25. Where am I at in terms of money? Company, $27 billion. I could maybe take in a little more debt so that way I can buy more of the Alki company. Another 15%. Let's do half and half, so 2.5. $500 million in annuities. That's another 15% of the company.
We're seeing a
We're seeing a decline in the work stoppages because we want to work. Chickadee-Cero, 1.9 billion, 2 billion in debts.
Our production is limited or nearly limited by the size of our infrastructure.
New facility, USS company. Cash contribution. How much money do I have to just throw around right now? Funds, $30 billion. So let's go for three new facilities. We're gonna build these in the south. So we're gonna do one south of Nashville, or Memphis. Yeah, Nashville. Another one south of Louisville. And then what's another one gonna do? Where would this go? This would go in West Virginia. The hell is that? Ooh, we should buy out the uranium industry. Market value. Ooh, whoa, $612 billion for a uranium company. It's like Robco size. All right, so we just invested about $1 billion in cash for 3 new facilities. Purchase of Alki Place shares. And loans for companies. All right, and then how much shares do we own now in Alki? 32%, so we could buy... If we did another 20% at some point, that would cost about $6 or $7 billion. So once we get the cash for that, then we're gonna go ahead and do it. But right before I do it, I'm gonna buy more stock, and we're gonna see our stock price just triple. It'll be a fun time.
So I'm going to go a little bit more forward. We're going to watch to see police crime rate is skyrocketing right now. Let's look. What about here? Budgets, health, death reimbursement, still right under health, so we're kind of still trying to lower that. Not really doing any major like national projects. Sabotage an oil well in the Costa region. Oil well, hang on. What kind of oil well are we looking at? Oh, in the Costa. Costa. Right, and where is that oil well? There you are.
Our infiltrated agents had the chance to...
I see that
I see that our expenses are higher than whatever.
Right, contract with the vendor, contract with the client. I need to ask... Anyone still there? Anyone still watching? Contract with the client. We're gonna do the dot rod and the company that selected. Okay, yeah, did select Chico de Acero. Let's sell it to someone. What about Colombia? Annual consumption already under contract, 10 million. Let's do 5,000 tons. 2.8 million now. Nation. Iceberg protection. King Pipolo and Kiev are still there. Alright, so let's do it like this. 600,000. Let's do 200,000. $86 million. $400. I'm pretty sure the purchase price is like way, way above. So we're gonna go ahead and send that over, try to get Chico de Acero some more money. Negotiation, 358, yeah. $80 million. 1.5 million in custom duties, delivery cost $5 million, and net amount would be $73 million.
All right. Let's see where these guys are at. 47 days. Notice how long I'm playing, and we haven't had a crash yet. Market shares. Okay, so this will show you all of the other people. Global market share. This is a Chinese company. Arcor Steel. Okay, so this is the one that's making so much money in Luxembourg. But look, they're negative 29 in net results, 154,000 employees, 3 subsidiaries. They have a branch in the US, which is private. I am noticing that at least that these companies are doing something with their money. So that is actually really cool that they are reinvesting. Where should I go next? Should I exploit Asia? Maybe the Philippines would be a good one. Or maybe Japan. Japan could be an option. Kind of like get something going there. $27 billion.
The pay that you receive as...
I don't care, bruh. All right, I'm gonna step away for about a minute. So I'm just gonna go get a drink. So I'll be right back. Alright, and I am back. Apparently I left it playing, but... Oh, Chico de Acero is actually doing better. %16%. We're doing better in global market share. Come over here. Company data. Market shares. Let's look.
Our stock price.
Our stock price has reached the top. Available position. Damn, hang on. I'd like to congratulate you on your popularity. Alright. Alright. Currency. What happened to Anthony Blinken? Chico de Serenito. The technology in Comoros is not compatible with our external hard disks. It's impossible, therefore, to copy the data. The United States literally cannot do industrial espionage into Comoros. Of all the countries that we couldn't infiltrate, it's the Comoros. That is a national embarrassment. Good thing it's a secret. Hang on. Budgets. Political espionage. Industrial espionage. That's crazy, bruh. 15 worldwide surveillance on social media. I'm gonna cut that. Fight against terrorism, agent training, 26. Oh, at least it's not as expensive, actually. Usually it was like $300 billion. Criminal investigation, internal affairs. We're going to do that. That way we can reduce corruption. Local district police, political police, sexual violence and pedophilia. Now we're just going to max those out. Here, and then surveillance cameras. 600,000. 575. The country awaits. All right. All right, and good news out of here. $94.8 billion cash surplus and accumulation in the Treasury Reserve. This reserve will be paid back at an interest rate of 0.25% per year. For your reference, we have posted the amount of this Treasury Reserve on a budget and debt window. Let's go to debts. $95 billion. We can go here and we can pay someone. Most likely whoever has the most interest. And Japan. Let's do China. I'm gonna play Chicken Corporation. Companies, Aurora Cultivation. The election rigged has now become unavoidable in public debate. This is intolerable. Why are you waiting to act to put an end to this controversy that's dividing our citizens and feeding the nauseating climate in our society? You can be sure that we will make your inaction in this matter known. Shut up. Bro. I love this game so much. You can get some of the weirdest interactions. Trump of all people is mad that the election rigged conspiracy is like inflaming the country. Your politics are on the right track. Alright, give me just a second. Let me look. Sovereign country, what we got? East Timor. Hell yeah. American Samoa. Head of state communication. Order a poll from the National Census Bureau. Damn, $6 million? What happened? Jesus.
Our governmental cell informs me that it has had the opportunity to approach this potential reformer.
No.
According to my calculations, using transactional analysis, Chicago score naturally, the team has at most a 63.8% chance of making a strategic gain in its position by focusing on
Anyone still out there? Our voting intention 61 to 31 to 7. Group and association. I like how the independents are winning the sects. Oh yeah, I need to regulate the right to strike. Forgot about that. Georgia approves me more. Let's see what North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma. Overseas territories support me. Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Washington, D.C. What about Texas? Texas. That's so funny. I'm barely winning Texas. That's only because the Greens are... Greens, like, have way too much power in this, man. In this game. In the United States.
This nourishing land to which you give so much of yourselves carries with it the memory of generations of farmers. Rest assured of my full support to the agricultural sector and for respecting its traditions, those that you incarnated yesterday and will incarnate again tomorrow and forever.
Walter
Funeral
Corbett.
will take place next week.
What's his name?
Do you want to attend the ceremony?
Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett just died. Quick, we gotta buy his company. Couple more days and these aluminum facilities are going to be online. One of the things I do like about this is that you can actually renegotiate contracts rather than just canceling them out and then redoing it, basically. $32, okay. We're ready. We're gonna save this, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna buy my stock, and then a day later, we're gonna buy another 20% of the Alkai company. And what'll happen is that that stock price is gonna go up. We're gonna, like, our market value is gonna go to the moon. So we need to be ready. We're gonna buy some more stock on Alkai, and then we're actually gonna buy a little bit of stock on our own company, not only as the individual, as the CEO, but we're also gonna buy it as our own company. And then once that's done, we can just sell. All right. We're gonna go to shares, purchase of shares by individuals. And then we're going to go all the way down. And we're going to go to UHS. Which one is that? I thought it was UPS. USS. $146 million. All right. Next day. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna buy another 20% of Alkai. Eh. 6, 6, 8, 9. Okay. Jonathan Markham, hi, it's been a long time since I tuned in one of your streams. It's been a while since I have streamed. Should I borrow? No. Nah, I'll borrow like half of it, so we'll do $4 billion. Crazy to see you're still playing this game. Yeah, I know. Alright, confirm. And watch this. This is gonna be like the funniest thing ever. It's like a cheat code. But the plan is that like the stock price is gonna go up to something like $300. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna wait for it to stabilize, and then I actually might wait until the end of the year because I know the stock price is gonna go up again at the end of the year. I know the stock price is gonna go up at the end of the year, and so what I will do is I'll wait until the year's over, and then I'll sell before February 1st. And we've been streaming for about 2 hours. I would say we'll make it to the end of the year, see what happens, and then we'll call it a day. But basically, we're going to wait until February 1st. We're going to make sure that all of our assets are sold, and then we're going to do a capital increase, and then we're going to ask that everyone buys the stock for like whenever it goes up to like $300 or $500. We're just going to put the stock price all the way back down to like somewhere around here, or maybe like 100 or 200. All right, so $143 million. Watch this. So Alkai, so we just created a subsidiary. So whenever you buy more than 50% of a company, that company becomes your subsidiary. So my market value just jumped up to $70 billion. I'm very out of the loop on this game, but no way I'm paying what they charge for the DLC. Feel bad for you guys across the pond right now. Are you talking about like us in America? For what's going on with Trump? Operating losses. It's Alkai, China. We have a Chinese subsidiary. We could actually just close it off because we don't want to do any business with China. No stock increase, huh? Normally it does that. Yeah, with the Trump madness, yeah. You're talking to someone that formally supported him. So... Bank Alkai. $1.6 billion in corporate taxes. Ranked at the top. 72.
Our stock.
Oh, they had literally just created a subsidiary in China. Oh my god, why? Why are there so many office buildings? So Alkai is at 15%. Alkai China is at... We're gonna have to think about what we're gonna do with the Chinese branch. Not too sure. Chico de Acero, 5%, $2 billion in revenue. U.S. company, $6 billion in debts, 20%, $108 billion in revenue. We could focus on Mexico. Try to develop Chico de Acero.
Ours.
Interesting that my stock price doesn't do that. I guess they fixed that. Because normally, like, it's, like, hilarious whenever, like you would buy a company. I guess it's only going to do that at the end of the year whenever, like, the final results come in. Would you play City State 2 on the channel? Yeah. I've heard of it. I asked the developers if I could have a code whenever it first came out. I never got a response, so I just never played it. But I know, like, it's basically like a... I know it's basically like a City Skylines except with politics, is what I've heard. Tax amnesty or political decision, particularly popular for minor offenses. For major offenses, they're a way of making the country more attractive with big capital and discouraging their expatriation. $184 million right there. What was that, like 100? So we made like $40 million already. Tax exoneration for donations to charitable organizations. What am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? Discontinuing production contract. Where am I at now? 0.14% of global market share. At this point, I could probably buy out Nippon. Not really. I need to save up like a lot of money before I even try to buy Nippon. Alright, let's look. Steel. Trade balance is $58 billion. U.S. Steel is revitalizing the entire U.S. manufacturing base. Let's see what Japan's tariff is on me on steel. Custom duties. I have it at 50% and they have it at 90%. And on China, 9%. I'm going to increase it to a 100% tariff. Apparently, we might have to... Well, actually, look. We actually overtook Japan as a larger producer of steel. Where were we at before? Production 5% and 9%. So we were like below South Korea in terms of this. Turkey, China. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do 125% tariff against China. And the application of custom duties. Damn, bitch. The application of custom duties can lead to various economic impacts depending on the context. First, it should be anticipated that the targeted country could respond by imposing tariffs on products it imports from your country. This could slow down your exports and harm certain economic sectors. Next, an increase in custom duties does not always guarantee higher revenues. If the tariffs become too high, imports might decline. Buyers or businesses or the population could then turn to local products, provided that your country produces enough of them with equivalent quality. Otherwise, they may choose alternatives from untaxed countries, limiting economic gains. Finally, if imported products remain essential, consumers might accept the additional cost, increasing customs revenue. However, this could also lead to higher inflation. Who else could I possibly slap a tariff on? I want to go back as US Steel and I want to see how much it is for me to export over to China. India. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to slap a tariff on Luxembourg. Of all the countries, we're gonna do a 35% tariff against Luxembourg. Let me see what their GDP is looking like. Negative 42% growth in Luxembourg. Inflation. Oh my God, what is going on in Luxembourg? Holy hell. Speaking of, I need to disarm 75 nukes, but GDP negative 42%, unemployment 0.58, but inflation is at a staggering 45% in Luxembourg. Taxation, economy, deficit, inflation. Yeah, look. Oh my god. Very high inflation to start off the year with across the West. But right now, like, I mean, Luxembourg is just, I mean, it's like a sore thumb. Luxembourg has the 7th highest inflation on the planet. They're above Argentina, but below Barbados. Very severe economic crisis happening in Luxembourg right now. It's probably, wait, what is going on? That is insane. Right. What I'm gonna do is Luxembourg single-handedly destroying the EU's economy. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go ahead and figure out a way to close down the Chinese branch of Alkai. Commerce, closure, retail outlets or locations, Alkai. How do I close a specific branch? Negly official, how are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. I'm trying to call. Haven't dropped by the streams due to college. I haven't been able to stream due to work and personal reasons, so I totally understand. That's why I'm making today worth it. We're making it to the end of the year, and we're gonna watch as our stock price increases. And we are gonna go to February 1st, and we're possibly gonna do a capital increase, which would lower our share price. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see how much it would cost me to sell something to China. Electrical steel, US company, and a Chinese company. Just first Chinese company that we see. Custom duties, $485 million. $11 billion with a $1 billion custom duty on it. That's insane. Are you doing a Trump-style trade war with the tariffs? In a way, but I'm being way more selective about it. I'm not just going around just slapping tariffs on everyone. The only major countries that I have tariffs on, we're focusing on steel. So the steel industry is basically what we're kind of focusing on. We're probably going to start hitting it with aluminum as well. It's China, Japan, and hilariously, this is not a joke, we actually had to put tariffs on Luxembourg because Luxembourg is producing the third most amount of steel in the world. I don't know why, but whenever I click on Luxembourg, look, 43% negative growth right now. Inflation, 45%. National deficit, 4%. I don't know what's going on in Luxembourg, but they're on literal life support right now. You think Greece was bad? We're apparently having a Greek-level economic collapse in Luxembourg, of all places. And for some reason, it's just because I guess maybe they're overproducing or something. I don't know. Maybe like one of their... I would assume one of their companies collapsed. Because I feel like these small countries are probably going to be a lot more susceptible to economic crises because of just how small their economies are. Also, you can see that these companies are really building. I feel like the world is going to be a lot more susceptible to economic crisis because of the new economic model. I guess what I'll do is that I'll go over here and I will restructuring plan. Alkai, China. Only the head of the company, a bonus for voluntarily resigning. Bonus amount, current annual salary, 100%. Estimated total cost, $13 million plus 5.41 to 7.92. And 4 points of sale will close. Well, we're just going to do terminations. Paying compensation, later tax, depending on the country's laws. Revenue takes off.
In 1 year, our revenue has doubled.
Our revenue
In
has
1 year,
doubled. $88 million, $186 million. His net worth is gonna like skyrocket in January. I'm telling you. Tax avoidance. Fixed share price per $10 million a share. 10 million on the Mexican market. Kids in 2050 are going to study the Great Luxembourg steel bubble crash of 2025. Building a great prestigious headquarters, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star. $3 billion. Construction of a prestigious building will be the headquarters of your consortium, sending a strong message to the entire world. Not only will this strengthen your notoriety in the eyes of your customers, but it is also an undeniable sign of financial success, which will make your employees proud, instill confidence in your partners, and garner the respect of your competitors. Valentina Sedmak, how are you? Create a label. The national origin label by the Minister of the Economy or country where the unit is located, and the ethical label in the World Union for Human Rights NGO. You have not met the requirements. I'm going to remind you that you're required to have at least 1 unit of production and 1 material supplier used in the production process in the national territory. 1 unit of production, so I already have that, multiple. And I need material supplier used in the production process. So I need to buy product. Our agents have finished their inspection and awarded the Made in Mexico label for your company. This guarantees consumers that these products are made in their territory. For the record, if you also work with domestic suppliers, you can also receive the Homeland label by request, which will give your products added value.
I see that.
Nope, we're actually making money now. Net results 300%. Implement 50% tariffs on everyone but lift them the following day.
I wanted...
The 2025 edition, I feel, will bring a lot of trade war aspects. No! 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 What's going on? No, Guyana's being invaded. Oh, Lord. I'm actually looking forward to buying the 2025 edition. Yeah,
The preparation.
I absolutely agree. Why? Publish a mix on tweaks. Call upon Guyana and Venezuela to cease hostilities and return to negotiation table. In complete solidarity with the Venezuelan people and military who are suffering so much to defend their cause. This country is so chaos wherever it goes. Venezuelan belligerent attitude. It's unacceptable. Alright, and then we're also going to break off diplomatic relations with Venezuela. Financial sanctions against Venezuela. Give weapons to Guyana. We're going to do handful of anti-aircraft batteries. Drones, we'll do like 100. Mortar rounds, we're going to give them some artillery. So we're going to give them 50,000 rounds. And artillery. Tanks, let's give them a crap ton of tanks. Let's give them 3,000 tanks. They're going to lose them all, but now let's do 2,500. Ukraine is suffering right now, and I'm just concentrating on Guyana. 1,500. Helicopters, 200. And cannons, let's do 80. I don't think Guyana's gonna win this, but we can help them out as much as we can. Ukraine! Hell yeah!
The funeral.
Wait, is Ukraine still at war with Russia? Oh. Okay. At least the war ended, so we're gonna provide them some military assistance. We're gonna move all these satellites and we're gonna go over to Guyana. But at least the war has come to an end. Unfortunately, it did come to the conclusion that Ukraine loses most of its coastline. Imagine a NATO intervention force because Venezuela attacked the wrong Guyana. All right, 3,400, 50,000 rounds. How many tanks you got, buddy? Really? Wow, they accepted the Trump plan. Yeah, literally. I'm at least glad to see that the Ukrainian government survives. Kyiv is spelled wrong in the game. You're gonna have to tell him that. Zaporizhia, Kherson, Donetsk, and Luhansk were all given over to Russia. Kharkiv did survive. Sumy did survive. We may see Guyana be absorbed into Venezuela. It's not really a lot that we can do. Short of going to war, but 147,000. I mean, we have a carrier task force right off the coast. Damn. Very lackluster conflict so far. I guess Venezuela is spending most of its time mobilizing.
In these dark days, I call on our allies to maintain their commitments by standing at our side against the forces that threaten our country and the balance of power in this part of the world.
Good morning.
Good morning. Implement the harshest measures on Venezuelan oil. Yeah, we're gonna do like a total embargo on them. That's what we're gonna do. Animal amount. Net price, average sales price, 1146, 1142. Their sale price is at 1058. Let's put it at 1080. Consumption, production, 50 million, $61 billion, $5 billion in custom duties. Negotiate, accepted. Cool.
Sure. Our country is confronted with many subversive undercurrents, so you'll understand why we are forced. I'm sorry, but...
Boo!
Most amusing
This person is at risk of a...
Give us weapons. We already did.
Guyana calls on the UN to issue an ultimatum against Venezuela.
The funeral.
Issuance of $153 billion in debt, really? Venezuela might not be... You're free to deliberate amongst yourselves, we are constrained time. Liberia and bilateral discussion before proceeding to vote. I'll see you in a few hours. Okay, so... Dmitry Medvedev is the...
Thank you very much for your advice, sir. However, I just don't need it. I'm sorry.
Russia might stop it. Even China's voting in favor of this. China, yes. I like how Guyana is on the UN Security Council. Okay, abstention, that's all we need. And Venezuela is about to have something really funny happen to him. Nope. Alright, let's save it, and I'm gonna do just a limited military intervention, airstrikes, and missile strikes against Venezuelan positions.
We are going to fire on targets in this country.
I love the drama of, like, missile strikes against having full Russian support and invading Essequibo is not the smartest move I've seen. I like how the UK, Colombia, and Brazil all declared war on them.
We're gonna bombard those targets, but then we're also gonna launch a strike against that missile defense that I saw, like, right on top of the target. And let me grab total embargo. Seriously? I noticed they redid the fire. Huh. Attacked by Venezuelan armed forces and U.S.
These
Virgin
foreign
Islands.
forces have led an attack on our land.
Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Seriously?
We are going to attack. It must be conceded.
A stalemate between Guyana and Venezuela. That's wild. Where the hell are you going?
It must be...
Ah, the Conservatives won in Canada. That's funny. All right. Diplomacy, military operations. Provide aid in its war against another country and its allies. Oh, okay. No. $218,000 refugees right now. Just literally, this is like affecting like millions of people. If you hear me getting silent, by the way, that's because I'm concentrating.
I don't really go to war a lot in this game, so I'm trying to focus. Ukraine was just admitted as a member of NATO.
We are going to attack this.
This person.
Once I get the troops there, I'm gonna set up a defensive perimeter around the city. Kind of like this. So that way they can't pierce in. And that way I can just concentrate. My naval forces can focus on anything that's coming in from this side, which I don't think they're gonna do. I feel like they're gonna like come in through south and then try to push in from the south. So we have some first troops arriving. For some reason, they're just refusing to storm the capital. I feel like we might have to flood more troops in, so I'm going to grab another 20,000. Okay. Here. Fortified line of defense. Lay down a minefield. Build a camp. Trenches.
It must be
I am late to the stream. What is going on? Just in time to see me battling the Venezuelans. Why were they invading Guyana and then now all of a sudden they're just focusing on Brazil now?
We are going to violate this country's territory.
Isn't that the point? We're fighting them. "13 Americans have died, 211 Venezuelans have been killed." Global cost of the wars has been 17 million, with monthly cost of 23 million. Monetary estimates of destroyed equipment or buildings and of dead or wounded soldiers. How is the cost so cheap? Well, it's mostly because of like the only things that I've lost was maybe like a handful of people, and they're apparently attacking the US Virgin Islands, but there's no like there's nothing like happening. So we haven't really lost a lot. We haven't really been in like direct combat. Alright, I gotta see what's going on down here. Oh my god. It's just a full-on slug match between the Brazilians and the Venezuelans. Oh, Venezuelans are gonna lose. What the hell did they do? Oh, God. Just join. Is this game pretty playable now or still buggy like most of the previous games? It's pretty... It's playable. Like, it's pretty playable. I mean, I've been playing for 3 hours, actually, now. And it's good.
We are going to fire on targets in this country and violate the territory of one or several other nations. Do you confirm your order? We are going to fire.
Yeah, I'm at war with them. All right, haul ass, haul ass. Crap! Crap.
The prepper.
I'm worth nearly $200 million now. So watch what happens whenever the end of the year comes. Are you kidding me? Your minefield warning.
I must inform you that
There's no way I just lost 30,000 people to a minefield. Oh, okay. Thank God. Send like 10,000 commanders to the capital. Does the commander strategy not work anymore? No, I'm just trying to avoid that. I'm just trying to end it on a status quo antebellum rather than rather than just storming the capital and making him a puppet. I'm just trying to end the war rather than conquer. They just recruited tens of thousands of more troops. Brazil probably mobilizing. PG George H.W. Bush. Nah, if I was George H.W. Bush, I'd have this war over in a month. PG Jr. will have to go to Venezuela in a few years.
At the moment, our losses remain minimal. The people trust us, and they support our intervention.
And they support our intervention.
It must be conceded.
Whoa, hang on. I think you need to bring more ships there. I know, I'm just thinking, I'm just like... I don't know if this is winnable. I'm thinking of just withdrawing. We've already lost 1,400 troops. Kind of already running up the numbers. I'm thinking like... I feel like we would have to have, like, bring in a force of at least 300,000. Plenty of tanks, plenty of anti-aircraft, and we'd lose tens of thousands before we're able to stop them. Unless, you know, we just rush the capital with all the commandos that we got. Cost of the war is now grown to $1 billion with a monthly cost of $460 million. Why are there Venice? Oh no, there's a Colombian. You can do with less than 300,000, just bring in enough weapons. Missiles in Venezuela, they just ran out of missiles. Canadian election is happening right now. I think they're releasing results. $1,400 of our soldiers have died since the beginning of this conflict.
I see. All right.
If you leave now, you'd just be putting money into the war chest. True. You've already committed to a prolonged conflict when you decided to intervene. Uh-oh. Man, this missile defense is like worth ass. Wait, you're attacking Venezuela because they're invading Guyana? Just let them take it. We can't let dictators do whatever they want, you know? We have to stand by our allies. I'm not even allied to Guyana. Alright. I have been streaming long enough, so I'm going to leave it at a cliffhanger. And if I decide to continue this, I will do a continuation, or I'll just finish the war. I'll either withdraw, or I will finish the war somehow, and then I'll come back and I'll basically like update you guys on what happened. But guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it to the channel. I hope that I'm going to be able to have the time to make some more videos and hopefully some regular content. I will be looking forward to making. But other than that, guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.